Greetings, brothers and sisters. I'm Professor Spira, and today we are going to talk about the famous lemon juice and distilled water enema. This will be the definitive how-to video made and inspired by the people who have really popularized them over the past 40 years. First, let's get a bit of business out of the way. Go ahead and hit that like button and share this video or the accompanying blog post on your social media page. Also, if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of our posted videos or our live streams. One other important piece of business, the disclaimer. The content found on this video and Mucus-free-life.com is strictly for informational and educational purposes only. This content is not intended to replace a one-on-one relationship with a licensed healthcare professional or a licensed dietitian and is not intended as medical advice. You are encouraged to consult the appropriate professionals before beginning any exercise, weight loss, or dietary program. This video and accompanying text is a sharing of personal experiences, opinions, and information about practicing a mucusless or mucus-free diet based on the works of Professor Arnold Ehret and modern-day advocates of his work. So this is not a recommendation for you to do anything. This is a how-to video sharing personal experiences and opinions on how to do a lemon juice and distilled water enema. The following video consists of clips from several different sources, including my Mucusless Diet Healing System e-course. The e-course is the most comprehensive educational tool for Professor Arnold Ehret's Mucusless Diet Healing System. Many people do not realize that the Mucusless Diet book was not really originally intended to be a standalone book, but was a textbook for a course that Ehret taught in person. So with my e-course, we use the Mucusless Diet book as it was originally intended as a textbook for a college level course. Also, I have video clips from Q Ortiz. Shout out to Q. I thank him for allowing me to collaborate with him on this particular video by using one of his videos. He made a great how-to video on doing lemon juice and distilled water enemas that you can find down below. Also, you will see there are many ways to prepare and administer the lemon juice and distilled water enema. Over time, you will figure out which nuanced approaches work best for you. Also down below are links to an enema bag or two that I find acceptable to purchase. Also, if you are viewing this on YouTube, I invite you to click the link to open the companion blog post page, which includes the full how to do a lemon enema instructions from my book Spira Speaks, as well as some of Ehret's statements on the importance of enemas. Without further ado, I give you the definitive how-to video for lemon juice and distilled water enemas. Enemas. During the transition period, it is advisable to wash out the lower colon. The sticky waste, slimy mucus, and various poisons which nature is attempting to eject should be helped along as much as possible.
What you'll need: an enema kit, enema bag, enema bucket, Kalima board, all of them work. I use an enema bag. There's the adapter piece, a lemon, or more if you're more advanced, distilled water, a 2-quart plus pot or electric kettle. I like the electric kettle, it's real easy. A knife, lubricant for the enema application, a handheld citrus juicer or an actual juicer, a mesh strainer for those seeds and pulp, a nice comfy blanket to lie down on, along with a nice pillow, and toilet paper. You don't want to run out of that. Let's get started.
Try to have a natural bowel movement before you inject the water. The lemon has an astringent property that when coming into contact with the walls and the lining of your colon and intestines, it has the ability to cause this mucus to kind of come out. Option: add fresh squeezed lemon juice to the distilled water. Now, this is my preferred method. I do distilled water and lemon juice enemas. This is what many of my friends do that's practiced the Mucusless diet for quite some time. And we found that the juice of lemons, and if you are hardcore against lemons and you want to use limes, that's fine. You can use limes. I prefer lemons. I find that they're more potent, they're more aggressive. How many lemons? Here's an excerpt from my book, Spira Speaks, Dialogues and Essays on the Mucusless Diet Healing System. Juice the lemons. I started off juicing 3 or 4 lemons with a citrus juicer and eventually moved to juicing 8 to 10 whole lemons with the rind. If you are concerned about pesticides or if it is too potent, just cut off the skin or use a citrus juicer. And note, lime juice can be used when lemons are too expensive or hard to find. If you find lemon enemas to be too aggressive, then just do distilled water enemas with half of a squeezed lemon or without lemon juice altogether. Even the juice from half of a lemon can be beneficial. So if this is your first ever lemon juice and distilled water enema, I recommend using 3 or 4 lemons. You could do this with a citrus juicer, or if you did use a regular juicer, maybe you could do 2 or 3 lemons. Don't overthink it too much. Find what amount of lemon juice works for you.
There are several different ways that you can juice your lemons.
First is the good old-fashioned citrus juicer. Just cut a few of these up. And then like so.
And there you go. The next option is to juice with some kind of power juicer. This is a centrifuge juicer. I'll leave a link down in the description below. There's a lot of different kinds of juicers. So this is just the one that I happen to have. If you don't have organic lemons, you're gonna want to take off the rind. And so how I do that is I do a couple quick little cuts on the outside. Then I cut down from the top. Like this. And when you juice it like this, as opposed to the citrus juicer, you yield a lot more juice, and the juice is a little bit more potent, because even though you took the rind off with that white still there, it makes it a little bit more potent. So I'll go ahead and get a few of these done, and this doesn't take that long. It only takes me a few moments to really go through, get that external rind off of there. And then you juice them. Liquid gold. So you can see this is very potent. It's good stuff. And the final option, if you have some good organic lemons, you can juice the rind and all. This is the most potent, so beware. But at the same time, it can save you money because you don't need as many lemons to be as potent as if you were doing, especially with the citrus juicer or some of the other methods. Now, I developed this concept after I read one of Eric's statements in the Mucusless Diet Healing System. In fact, here it is. Recipes for a special dissolver of hardened mucus and uric acid. With the following recipe, I once healed a woman who, after 6 years of paralysis, became entirely normal when both fasting and the mucusless diet failed to affect recovery. It cannot be taken into a mucus-filled stomach. The recipe follows: take the juice and pulp of 4 lemons, grate and peel 1 lemon and mix with the juice. Okay, so with that in mind, let me show you what this does. Oh, Baby Yoda's about to be happy. All right, here we go. Rind and all. Ooh, buddy. Oh, yeah. So it's hard to say, but depending on the size of the lemon rind would be equal to, I would almost say 3, 4, or 5 of regular lemon. I want to put this in a clear cup so that you can see. Now, some people, you know, it's a little bit thicker, but once you add water to this, it goes through the enema hose with no problem.
For a thorough cleansing, use 2 to 3 quarts of water in a standard sized enema bag.
All right, this first step is just to figure out how much liquid our enema bag holds. So we'll pour it in the bag, find out, then pour that water out. Don't pour it on your carpet. Now we know we don't need to do that step again.
There's a lot of ways you could heat your enema water up. You can heat the water up and then add the lemon juice by itself. What I do is combine it all together in a pan and then heat it up, test it with my fingers until it's right. You know, I kind of roughly at this point know how long to do it. You know, I don't want it to burn, but I want it to be nice and warm. Let's put the lemon juice in and put some water. And I already know how much to put in. I like to totally fill my enema bag up. So this much lemon juice and water will fill up my enema bag. And I turn the heat on. So you can see we got fire up under there. All right, so we're not there yet. Still warming up. All right, this is getting nice and warm. This is ready to go. So I'm gonna turn that on off. So the trick is transporting this liquid into this enema bag that has a small hole.
So we mixed our distilled water with the lemon, warmed it up. We have our strainer. We're pouring in that solution. Take that pulp out, put that back in, clamp it. You don't want to spray that out.
What I do is I use a funnel. So you can get any kind of funnel. This is what I got probably at a dollar store. So I stick the funnel in the top. I usually do this over the sink because I do spill a little bit sometimes. And there we go. All right, Q, so what do you do after that?
This step is just assembling your enema kit, whatever that looks like. Mine looks like this, putting on the clamp to be able to stop the flow, and that's the adapter piece for the anal application tool. And now we're lubing up our adapter piece just for easy slide. I use olive oil. Other people, they use different lubes and all that. We just tested the flow and got the water into the tube by releasing the clamp. We have a nice diffuser, a Young Living essential oils diffuser. There's lavender in there while I'm breathing, massaging the abdomen, just relaxing.
As it says in Spira Speaks, romance yourself a little bit. This should be a meditative, relaxing process. This should not be a stressful kind of situation.
And now we're ready. We're relaxed, and I'm silly. All right, we're doing it. Just raise your enema bag in the air like it's your flag.
Get out the hood and get an Enigma bag. Raise it high like it's your flag. Clean, 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 click, click, clean, clean. Get your colon nicely clean. Very clean, Mr. Clean up that fine French fry cuisine. And all the girls say.
And the body should be in a reclining position, lying on the right side. Now, there are some schools of thought that say it's better to lie on the left side. I've done both. For the first years of practicing the Mucusless diet, I lied on the right side. Then I did some more research and I tried out the left side. And to this day, I prefer lying on the left side for me personally. But there's different schools of thought and reasons based on the anatomy and the way that the intestines are, where there's arguments for both different sides. So if you want to follow Eric's recommendations, start off on your right, laying on your right side to administer the enema, or you can experiment with both sides and see what feels best. If the cramp or pain becomes too great, allow the water to pass from the colon and repeat the operation. So if you have the water flowing in, yet you start to feel cramps and it feels uncomfortable, then and hold off a second. You can take the enema tip out or stop the water flow for a moment, let things sort of shift around a little bit, and then proceed to continue adding the water. Should any discomfort be felt, stop the flow until the discomfort passes, as the entire 2 or 3 quarts should be retained at one time.
And that's a squeeze. That was one hand. You saw it. So I disassembled the anal piece just so you could just spare you seeing that. And I was able to do this with my pants on, just so we can demonstrate this for you. We take our pillow. Now the flow is angled upwards towards the top of the colon. We're turning on our side, still massaging, loosening up that gunk and waste in there. Now, I don't recommend this. This is what I do. I like to play around with this posture at times. And Brother Air, I hear he stands on his head. So this is, yeah. All right.
I feel like I'm sweating out lemon juice right now.
Breathing, focusing on expanding my abdomen, breathing into my lower belly, massaging the organs. Had to take a moment there.
It was wanting to come out. I find Kegels, those exercises where you work your pelvic floor muscle, I think those work just because you gain more muscular isolation, so then you're not tightening your glutes while you're just trying to isolate that pelvic floor muscle, just to tighten the sphincter so you don't let out all the enema on your floor. And Professor Spira does recommend lying on the bathroom floor if you have space in there, or right by it. I like the comfort of my own room, so I work on practicing how to hold the enema in, and then I'll go to the bathroom.
So the water should be retained in the intestines. Eric says about 15 to 20 minutes, or as long as it's convenient. What's more realistic to me, particularly if you're doing the lemons in the beginning, is 5 to 10 minutes. After you get used to doing the enemas, you'll be able to hold them longer, but I wouldn't be obsessed with trying to hold them for really long periods of time. In my opinion, what's more effective and what's better is the consistency for a period of time. So whether you do enemas every day for a week or for a couple weeks in the beginning to get your bearing with it. Some Mucusless Diet practitioners do perform lemon juice enemas regularly for long periods of time. Some people do them in the beginning of their transition, or they do them during fasting periods, or they do them with less frequency every other day or a couple times a week, or even once or twice a month. You got to find what's right for you. I'm not going to tell you how many times or what you should do or give a general prescription for the enemas. I can tell you about what other people have done. I can decode some of the things that Eric has to say about it, but ultimately you have to make that call and decision for yourself. Experiment with holding it for different lengths. At the beginning, when you first start doing it, you probably will not be able to hold it very long, and it's okay if you get the enema in, and as soon as you get that water in, you feel like you have to stand up real quick and get to the toilet to excrete. And that's okay. This is a process that you have to work yourself into. While you're still lying on your side, you gently massage your ascending colon in an upward motion, and you kind of come up and around, and then turn and lie on your back. And while your knees are drawn up, massage from the right side to the left side of the body, and kind of massaging that liquid over a little bit. Now turn over, lying on the left side if you've lasted that long, and you can massage the left side in the downward motion. So it's the water coming around. You're basically kind of massaging as you start off on your on the right side, then your back, and then the left. Now I sort of do it the opposite, because I've found that I enjoy being on the left better. Then you should be ready to eject the water, and you do what you need to do. You can sit down
And speaking of that, feeling like I'm gonna hit that up. All right, I thoroughly enjoy posture sitting up, and here's one movement that I like to play with. I just undulate my spine, breathing, to create a nice wave-like effect, and that helps me release the enema better.
eject the water, and sometimes, depending on how much waste is up in you, it takes a while. And the first couple enemas you ever do, you might notice that you don't get a lot that even comes out. And what happens sometimes is if you have a lot of crusty, hardened, nasty stuff around the lining of your colon and intestines, that you'll put this water in and it'll absorb into this nasty stuff, and you won't have a bunch of stuff come back out. And you might do that a couple days in a row, and then on that third or fourth day you do the enema, and it's like Niagara Falls of waste coming out of you, and pounds of stuff that have been loosened from having done enemas for a couple days in a row. All this stuff has been loosened, and all of a sudden it comes out when you do an enema. And again, you're combining this with the mucusless diet, part of the system. So you're improving what you're eating, even if you're still eating mucus-forming foods, even if you're still having some pus-forming foods in there. You've improved your technique by the way that you combine these items, so things are getting better in that regard. Then you're cleaning out whatever it is that you're eating. You're at least hygienically cleaning out that mucus residue so that it does not sit. These things don't sit and back up and up and up further up into your intestines. And as it said there, the best time to take enema, according to Eric, is before bed. Experiment with different times a day. I've done things where I would do it before going to bed. Other times I would do them first thing in the morning. Sometimes I do them in the afternoon. So I've done enemas at all different times of the day. You can experiment with that and find out what works best for you. And that can change over time. So for more detailed instructions and discussions, particularly about lemon juice enemas, see Spira Speaks, and I will link down to the location of that in the description. But Chapter 2, the all-important lemon enema, is one of the most comprehensive discussions about doing lemon juice enemas that I know of.
All right, now you know how to do a lemon juice and distilled water enema.
I want to thank you so much for watching this video, and if you would, please give it a like so that the YouTube algorithms will show us a little bit of love. Share it on your social media platform so that more people can be exposed to this life-changing information. You know, this lemon juice and distilled water enemas transformed my life, and it's transformed the lives of many people I know for the better. Clean up your colon. Get this mucus out of your system. It can totally change your life. So I thank you. Check down below. We got a lot of links for you down there. If you're on YouTube, I invite you to check out that blog post. There's a lot of additional information on there. Very comprehensive. Wanted to try to share as much information as we could in one space, so it's a one-stop shop. You can just send people there, share the blog post with people, and it's out of your hands at that point. All you can do is lead people to the information. So you check this out. This is pretty hip. Lemon juice and distilled water enemas, and that's it. You know, you leave it alone if at that point. Just here's the information. Do what you want to do. I really thank you for all the support. Let's get this information out there, y'all. We gotta really transform this planet by getting people that are willing to transform themselves back into a human in some respects. You get us back in line with nature. So again, I thank you so much, and until next time, peace, love, and breath.
Now listen, cause I'ma talk to your son. If you see a cheeseburger, you better freaking run. To the bathroom with an Enema bag, distilled water, lemons, and the booty whipping rag. Get that mucus, get it good. Everybody in the hood, get out the hood and get an Enema bag. Raise it high like it's your flag. Clean, 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 click, click, clean, clean. Get your colon nicely clean, very clean. Mr. Clean up that fine French fry cuisine. And all the girls say,
oh, that mucus boy, he's always talking about health and disease. He told me to give up Mickey D's and Taco Bell, and I was like, brother, please, I don't think that I could ever stop eating meat.
well, girl, that's too darn bad. Your story is tragic and sad. Just think about all the beautiful mucusless times that we could have had. Don't be sad, don't get mad. The meat eating thing is the very old fad. It's true, that's your great granddad. Read the book that has inspired thousands of brothers and sisters to take their health into their own hands. Professor Arnold Ehret's Mucusless Diet Healing System, annotated, revised, and edited by Professor Spira. Visit www.mucus-free-life.com/revised-mucusless-diet to get your copy today while supplies last. Tell them Dr. Puppet sent you. Yeah.
I got COs up my ass like a lemon juice enema. Oh, like your mom never did it to you? Come on.
Distilled water and lemon, y'all. Distilled water and lemon. Distilled water and lemon. Yeah. Oh, that was hot. Woo! That almost hurt me, but it's all right.